Welcome. Another episode of Black Jewel Tarot. Thank you, subscribers. I can't do this without you. Give thanks. Give thanks. Had to toot my horn today. Can't look. Toot, toot. Keep it pushing. I love y'all. I'm so happy. So let's make it do what it do, baby. L.
All right, here we are, 3D'S with Reverend Tiny back again. We are in episode number 14, and we're going over the Hanged Man today. We want to make sure to give you all that reminder that recovery life coaching with Reverend Tiny is continuously available. Go ahead and book your appointment with the link at the bio below. And go ahead and get your services today, now. Don't wait for tomorrow. You can do it today. All right, here we go. Moving into our first segment, 50 years of hip hop and the crack epidemic and the trauma left behind. Today we'll be working with the Hangman with the major arcana along our fool's journey. Here we are. We've arrived.
Right, the Hangman. This is such an interesting card because it's dead smack in the middle in the major arcana from 1 to 22. And when I think about the Hangman, the color is blue and red, so that's compassion and fire and desire. Deals with the throat chakra, which is communication. But when you get the Hangman in a reading, it's about feeling trapped and stagnant, right? You're not letting go, you're not letting things come in. And when it's in the reverse, it's still stagnation. The Hangman comes with the numerology of number 12, which some people say is like of heavens, and the sum of 5 and 7. Some people say 12 disciples or the zodiac signs. 12 was always a good number. And it goes with 144, 12 times 12 and all of that. But when I think about how the Hangman turned up in my life, I wasn't able to make decisions. I was stuck. I felt stuck. I felt trapped. I was trapped in the game. I didn't know how to get out. I was raising children, and I had a lot of decisions to make. And spiritual decisions, well, who was I going to serve? Like it says, you can't serve two gods. And I was like, yes, you can, because this one does this and this one does that. And it's like, no, you can't. And that ideology just left me sitting on the fence, right? Because I had it in my head what I was going to do. And that's what Tiny does. She do what she want to do. And I got left behind. I made wrong decisions because I was just stagnated. I was not willing to let go of old patterns, old habits. And I wasn't ready. So like they teach in the AA and the recovery programs, meet people where they're at, and some are not ready and the program's not for everybody. That is certainly true. Jails, institutions, and death. And I survived it. I survived teenagers. I survived the crack game. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to be able to express myself through tarot and how I showed up in each of these archetypes, because that's what we do through the Fool's Journey. What else can I say? It also is, the tarot shows up with Neptune, and that's intuition. So when your intuition is not working for you and your own, your goodness and your behalf, that's stagnant energy that needs to be moved. That's the crown chakra that needs to be opened up, the mind's eye, so that you can make decisions, dealing with your intuition, your intellect. I'm pausing because I'm like, what else can I say about the hangman? Eventually we move on through justice, reflection, and when we're able to self-reflect, I love using prompts to journal and ask myself questions, and that really helped me to get out of the defunct mindset that I had, was expressing myself through my writings. I would say definitely journal if you're stuck, if you're at the hangman, the crossroads in your life. Just get it out on paper, make a plan, set a plan, and stay focused. We don't have to stay stuck. We do not have to stay stuck. Elle, what am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something today. You're on mute.
Yeah, I have a question. We've been talking about the Fool's Journal as we've been venturing into these different major arcanas. Last week we talked about the justice, as the Fool moves into the justice, and what it means to come into a place of recognizing where you need to go back or go forward into your journey. And now we've reached the hangman. After we've come out of this justice, this balance, and trying to figure out, how we grow or how we go back so that we can grow forward. How do we weigh our scale? Where have we entered into when we come into the hangman from the justice type of thing?
That's a loaded question. Like, I'm thinking, like, where do I start with that? And I'm gonna keep it simple. When you want to do right and you want justice for yourself, or you want justice for a service or whatever you're doing, right? Serving people, you want justice and you're fighting for your rights, you're fighting for the rights of people. It still starts with self-reflection and how you're going to navigate with that justice. I mentioned last week, I looked at the justice card as our ancestors' blood flowing, and how we've yet to receive reparations or even be recognized as human beings, because the Dred Scott law is still on Supreme Court. That ruling still exists where we're considered 3/5 of a human. And this is 2024. We're 3/5 of a man. And all of this greatness that we bring forth, we're not recognized. So how do we keep fighting? We can no longer stay stagnant with the hangman. We have to roll forward. And when we're going to roll forward, we're going to roll forward into that death, because that death card is letting go. It's the winter turning into spring. And that's what we got to do with situations, that we got to use discernment to know when you just got to let go and walk away and fight for justice, so we won't continue to be the hangman. My Aunt Rachel, as a little girl, 19 years old, because I would, fight and get in trouble at the end of the year, always one fight. And she was like, you better stand for something or you'll fall for anything. Martin Luther King said that. Malcolm X said that. You better stand for something, because you fall for anything. And that's where justice, being the hangman, and the death part. Stand up for your rights. Stand in your power. Stand in your truth. Stand up for yourself. We got a huge battle out there. But first, we got to challenge our own demons. And I said that really light because I still struggle with a lot of stuff. Eating, exercising. That might be small to other people, but grand for people who suffer with obesity and eating disorders and drugs, right? I like a beer. The struggle is real, and for the hangman, it's like looking at your new perspective. And that's what the hangman is new perspective. letting go of old behavior, old patterns, people, places, and things. And you know, for me, in my struggle in the hip hop era, I jump a state quick. Oh, you ain't got to tell me. I'm driving. Kids in the back, I throw them their snacks, and I'll be on the I-5 keeping it moving. But that was my life, and that was my journey. Everybody's not able to walk away from a house full of furniture and a new car with the music in it, right? I'm definitely the one that, you know, $800 car and $2,000 worth of music system, subwoofers and all that. I did that. Not once, but twice. It ain't nothing for me to fill up the tank and, you know, three full tanks. I'm in a whole new state. A lot of people can't do it. I've been fortunate. I've been fortunate to have that backbone and to say, I want different. No, we're gonna do this. Pack for 2 weeks. That's what I told my children. Pack for 2 weeks. We're gonna see Auntie. I never looked back. That was the second time that I let go of everything. And I, you know, that brings me back because I wanted to change. I wanted to change for better. I wanted my children to graduate high school, and they graduated from Clackamas High School. It was hard. I'm not saying it's easy. Let me say it's not easy. It was hard. But I had to continue. I had to meet that challenge. You know, I wasn't ready to give up. I was not ready. And you know what? I'm gonna share something that I've never shared with maybe 2 people. One would be my counselor and my children. They would get on my nerves. JoJo and Bree would get on my last nerves. And I said, you know what? I'm done. I took a whole bottle of pills and woke up. And I'm like, what the? And then my daughter laughed at me. She was like, oh, that's what you get. You ain't going nowhere, haha, and continued to torture me the next day on how dumb I was for even to take all them damn pills and be sick. When, you know, a new perspective, no, you know, I try to take my life. So, and I say that because when God has a plan for you, you ain't going nowhere. I was at a detriment. I was at the lowest low. I moved from Sacramento to Oregon. And just to be in this white state without anybody. And like I said, my children got on my last nerves where I couldn't even take it. I'm talking about I gave up. I gave up on the dieting. I gave up on exercising. I was doing jazzercise. I gave up on my relationship with myself. Right? Self-esteem is self first. I gave up with fighting the system in Oregon. I mean, every time I turn around, it was a new case. Like, what? You know, it's like, what? How much can you put on a person? That's false. Y'all ain't even coming with some new, this is some old trick stuff, you know? I gave up. And after I did that, and all day it was like, okay, drink the water, you know, let me get back. And it took a couple of weeks to acclimate my system and my, you know, my mind, right? Journaling, going to find meetings. And I was like, I can't afford to let my mind go, to let myself go. And that's really hard when you're in recovery and you find that monkey on your back, right? And 3D, you know, 3Ds, no dick, no dope, no donuts. So that was not the issue. It was everything didn't work. Nothing satisfied me when I had let go. So not only there's no sex, no donuts, it's only spirituality, and that wasn't enough. You really got to find yourself. And so that's a battle, and I had to just get a new perspective. I had to fight for my own justice, to my autonomy, and how I wanted to enact and show up in the world. And then since then, I've been on a spiritual journey to change and to do better. Every day is a new opportunity.
That's great. What advice would you, I guess the last thing would be, I would like to know, what advice would you give people who are at this stage of the hangman looking at a different perspective? They've come out of the justice and they've been able to weigh their life on a scale. Now they're having an opportunity to take a look at themselves, at their journey from a different perspective. What advice do you have for them?
Keep on keeping on. Keep up the fine fight, the fight for life and the fight for power. Fight for yourself, your dignity, your character. Just keep on keeping on. Look for reasons to do right and to be of service to others.
For sure. Well, you all heard it. You all want to or are interested in finding out more information about your journey utilizing the wisdoms of tarot. Book your appointment today with Black Jewell. Link is in the bio, description below. We look forward to seeing you soon. And with that, this is Black Jewell Tarot. We're out.